The biggest impacts on people's lives at the village level, and keeping in mind that in Papua New Guinea, 85% of the population live in extremely remote areas with lack of access to basic services. They survive on subsistence agriculture. They produce enough food to feed their families on a daily basis. And when there is a climate-related weather event, when there is a flood or drought or landslide, often caused by flooding and heavy rainfall, when something like that happens, they cannot survive. Their basic needs are not met. So what we see very clearly is that the impacts of climate change and biodiversity loss in Papua New Guinea are most affecting those who are most vulnerable in the country. The strength of the UN approach on climate change is that we bring together a multitude of agencies with different kinds of expertise to address the needs of women and children, to address the needs of social protection and access to support, financial support, to address the needs of small businesses, and to address the needs of people's basic rights to be heard and demand their governments to provide them with a better life. So the strength of the UN response is really precisely that we bring together multiple agencies with key expertise on a really complex problem. And fortunately, because we have access to pooled funding mechanisms in the UN, like the joint SDG fund, we are able to initiate key actions on climate change that utilize the strengths of the UN system at that broad level, really tapping into the expertise of the multiple agencies and what they can bring to this problem.